Ah, The Simpsons, a show that you might have heard of unless you just woke up from a coma you've been in since 1988. And if that's the case, I have some bad news for you about Michael Dukakis. He lost. But more importantly, since Season 2, Episode 3 specifically, The Simpsons have delivered spooky jokes and japes with their iconic Treehouse of Horror episodes, which is about to air its 36th installment this year. It's a brilliant format that lets the writers break out of the established world of Springfield and embrace scares, film parodies, and that running gag from Season 6 where Willie keeps getting killed with an axe.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
But even with all the vampires, murderous leprechauns, wasteland mutants, and erotic cakes, no Treehouse of Horror can stand up to the actual scariest episode of The Simpsons, which just so happens to be set during the jolliest time of year. No, not Arbor Day. Christmas.
Oh, a soiled wig.
Now, it might seem weird to issue a spoiler warning for an episode of television that is 30 years old. Oh God, but I guarantee you there's one person out there who will be complaining in the comments if I ruin the episode for them, so here's your spoiler warning.
Here you go, little fella.
No, not for him.
Oh, I see.
Are you still there? Of course you are. You're not that one guy I was talking about, Trent, with a T. Now, as a millennial man of a certain age, my base knowledge of The Simpsons is from Season 1 through Season 9, and Seasons 3 through 8 are generally agreed upon as the golden years of the show. And yes, there's some good episodes in the later seasons, like Season 33's Pixelated and Afraid. But for 2 decades, the mold of The Simpsons family had been pretty firmly cast in stone. Bart is the rebellious and semi-criminal older brother who pushes everyone's buttons. Lisa is the too smart, too earnest, and usually too nerdy person for everyone around her. Homer is a lovable oaf who has a habit of throttling his son at the drop of a hat. And Marge is the support beam of the whole home who loves her family nearly as much as she likes potatoes.
I just think they're neat.
Or at least she was up until 1995. In December of that year, Season 7, Episode 11, The Simpsons delivered one of their most surprising and emotionally ruinous episodes yet, with Marge Be Not Proud. Scripted by longtime Simpsons writer Mike Scully with Josh Weinstein and Bill Oakley producing, the episode centers on a very devastating thought. What if your mother stopped loving you? Now, if you happen to have a terrible relationship with said parent, I'm sorry, you might not be able to see the dread that lies beneath this episode, and hopefully your therapy and self-care routines are going well, but we're gonna get into it in the meantime. One of the things that makes Marge Be Not Proud one of the best Simpsons episodes ever is the fact that surrounding the gloom at the center of the story is a flurry of frankly incredible jokes.
Hey, I don't remember saying that.
Few things are as funny as Milhouse when he gets a copy of Bone Storm.
This is great! And all I've done is enter my name! Thrill House!
But much like a 3-wood on a putting green, I'm getting ahead of myself here. The episode begins with Christmas fast approaching, along with the release of a brand new video game titled Bone Storm, and it has a very catchy slogan.
So tell your folks, buy me, Bone Storm, or go to hell!
Bone Storm was an obvious parody of Mortal Kombat, which was having a very big cultural moment right around this time. And not just with kids who wanted to play a hyper-violent fighting game the likes of which had never been seen, but also with parents who did not want their kids playing a hyper-violent fighting game the likes of which had never been seen. It's genuinely crazy to think that Mortal Kombat launched congressional hearings, but then again, no one ever accused Joe Lieberman of having good judgment. Got him. Anyway, back to The Simpsons. Marge, like most moms in America, shuts down Bart's request.
And they're violent and they distract you from your schoolwork.
After being unable to rent the game and getting iced out by Milhouse twice, Bart heads to the try-and-save to try and employ his foolproof plan.
Maybe if I stand next to the games looking sad, someone will feel sorry for me and buy me one.
Now, real quick, another thing that makes this episode so good is Mike Scully does such a fantastic job of tapping into the very dumb psyche and logic of being a 10-year-old kid. Probably thanks to the fact that he based this episode off his own deeply scarring experience of getting caught stealing from a Bradley's when he was a child. Remember Bradley's? Sorry. It was like the Roebuck of Caldors. Now, I don't know about you, but I for sure tried the look sad near a toy and hope some kind stranger buys it for me gimmick, but unfortunately, like it didn't work for me, it didn't work for Bart. Stupider heads prevailed. Local bullies Jimbo and Nelson plant the idea of taking a 4-finger discount in Bart's head, and not even Lee Carvalho can dissuade him.
Don't do it, son. How's that game gonna help your putting?
Bart finally smuggles out a copy of Bone Storm and then breathes fresh air for roughly 3 seconds before he gets caught by security guard Don Brodka.
I got away with it. I'm free.
Sir, would you open your coat, please?
Played by Hollywood tough guy Lawrence Tierney. Now, according to producer Josh Weinstein, Tierney terrorized the Simpsons staff during his recording, so maybe that lends itself to the undercurrent of terror that pervades this episode. After scaring Bart straight and leaving a totally normal message on the Simpsons home answering machine, Brodka lets Bart off with a warning. Never return to the try and save, capiche?
Well, do you understand?
Everything except capiche.
Now, despite getting caught at the store, Bart does manage to beat his family home and swap out the answering machine tape in time using Alan Sherman's finest work in lieu of the tape. It's a much-needed sigh of relief. Bart thinks that he's in the clear until Marge drops a megaton bomb on him. They have to go back to the try and save to get their family pictures taken.
Try and save. Oh, my teapots are ready.
Now, my colleague Adam actually had a similarly chilling experience where he racked up $200 in late fees at Blockbuster and his family just never returned. So I guess he did win at the end, but at what cost? And despite Bart's best attempts at stealth,
I don't have to listen to these wild allegations.
he winds up getting nabbed mid-family photo by Brodka, and then Marge is forced to witness the unbearable sight of her own child stealing. It's something she believed that he would never, ever do. And this is where the real dread begins. Homer's of course busy being Homer, but when Bart tries to apologize to his mom, Marge just asks him to go to bed. No yelling, no scolding, no change of expression, just a 1,000-yard stare in silent reflection.
Is there anything I can do? I don't know. Why don't you go to bed?
Being a 10-year-old and not quite grasping the greater implications, Bart actually thinks he's in the clear. But wise beyond her years, Lisa knows this is just the beginning.
Her heart won't just wipe clean like this bathroom countertop. It absorbs everything that touches it, like this bathroom rug.
And she's right. All the stuff that Bart considered to be too smothering or embarrassing quickly dissipates. No more goodnight kisses, no tuck-in time, no snow families, no special breakfast or hot chocolate with the little marshmallows in it. All scenarios that are harrowing for a 10-year-old. The fear of losing your parents' love is something that never even enters into your mind when you're a kid. It's supposed to be unconditional. And as we see, it still is, but humans are fallible. And this really hurts Bart and Marge in profound ways. This episode does such an amazing job of illustrating the growing pains of adolescence and those of being a parent. Marge is going through her own existential crisis. She realizes Bart isn't her little boy anymore. She can put a roof over his head, food on the table, and love him with all of her heart, but she can't prevent him from making his own choices, even when they seem so devastatingly out of character. And while that is something all parents have to accept at one time or another, it doesn't make it any less sad when it finally hits you.
He's not my little baby anymore. Maybe I mother him too much.
You know, when I was growing up, I wasn't initially allowed to watch The Simpsons. My parents thought that Bart was a bad influence, and look, between the violent video games, shoplifting, and exhortations to consume his shorts, I can understand where they might have been coming from. But as this episode shows, Bart isn't a bad kid, he just made a bad choice. And he genuinely tries to make amends in a way that shows real emotional maturity that, frankly, I'm not sure a lot of adults I know possess. And while I used to really see Bart's POV and Marge be not proud, I'm a father now. Rewatching this episode for the first time in ages with my 2.5-year-old son sleeping in the other room, it really hit me. I'll try my damnedest to give him the best life possible, to shield him from the relentless abattoir of horrors in the world around us, but I can't do it forever. He's going to grow up, he's going to make his own choices, he's going to make mistakes, and we have to find a way to move forward together as a family. And that's what stands out so much in this episode. Having the feeling of safety and insulation ripped away from you, whether it's Bart thinking his mom doesn't love him anymore, or Marge thinking that she failed her son and she's losing him, It's a terrifying prospect, especially if what you've known was warm and comforting and loving and constant. Now, The Simpsons have grown and changed over time in so many different ways. The show has been on since 1989. It has to evolve to stay relevant. And while the Simpson family's relationships to each other have definitely changed over the past 791 episodes, this one always stands out as a watershed moment and low-key, the scariest one of all. It's an episode where we got to see the relationship between Marge and Bart change on such an emotional level, both for their characters and for us. And I think those are the best episodes of The Simpsons. Ones like Lisa's Substitute, Mother Simpson, Round Springfield, and Maggie Makes Three, The Curse of the Flying Hellfish. I love Lisa.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
Episodes where the show steps outside of its goofy universe for just a moment to show the humanity of these characters and how beautiful it is when they come to understand each other just a little bit more, especially when they live in an otherwise static world.
Don't worry, Homer. You'll always be a part of me.
We're so thrown by this never-before-seen schism in the show, and that's why the hook of the episode works so well, and why it feels so good when Bart returns home with a photograph as an apology. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Is this really the scariest episode of The Simpsons? Look, obviously I was being a little hyperbolic, but damn if it doesn't send a chill through your spine to think of your parents feeling like you're a stranger. And that makes sense, because it's also a Christmas episode. And Christmas is cold. Canonically. But anyway, folks, there you have it. That's why we think Marge Be Not Proud is one of, if not the scariest episodes of The Simpsons. But what do you think? What's your most traumatizing Simpsons episode? Are you caught up on all 35 episodes of Treehouse of Horror? And have you ever been wanted by your local Blockbuster?
You're never catching me, you
They probably won't. There's one left in America. Anyway, let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, make sure you stay tuned to Nerdist.com. Oh yeah, and buy me Bone Storm or go to hell!